For months, people were shot dead on quiet San Francisco streets with no warning, no robbery, and no personal motive. The victims were chosen for one reason only: their race. The killers called themselves the Death Angels, and in the early 1970s, they terrorized a city. The crimes later known as the Zebra murders occurred primarily between October 1973 and April 1974 in San Francisco, California. The name Zebra came from the police radio code used to describe a suspect who was black. During this period, at least 15 people were murdered and 8 others were seriously wounded. All of the known victims were white. They were targeted while walking alone, getting into cars, waiting for buses, or going about ordinary daily routines. There was no connection between the victims, and the attacks appeared random. The perpetrators were members of a small extremist group known as the Death Angels, which operated within a radical offshoot of the Nation of Islam led by Yusuf Bey, born Joseph Stevens. The group believed white people were enemies and justified killing them as a form of racial warfare. The Death Angels operated in teams, usually of 2 or 3. One member would approach the victim, sometimes engaging them briefly, while another would shoot or stab them. Some victims were killed execution style. Others were shot multiple times or stabbed repeatedly. Weapons used included .22 and .38 caliber handguns and knives. In several attacks, victims were shot at close range without any warning. Some were left bleeding in public areas, discovered by passers-by. Because the victims were attacked in different neighborhoods with no clear pattern, police initially struggled to connect the cases. Fear spread quickly throughout the city, especially among white residents. Many avoided public transportation or walking alone. In response, San Francisco police implemented controversial measures, including stopping and questioning large numbers of black men who matched suspect descriptions. These tactics were later criticized and challenged in court, leading to policy changes. A breakthrough came in April 1974 when Anthony Harris, one of the Death Angels, was arrested during a robbery. While in custody, Harris provided detailed confessions and information about the group in exchange for reduced charges. Harris identified several other members, including Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and James Edward Fisher. He described initiation rituals, group planning, and the ideological beliefs that motivated the killings. Investigators were able to corroborate Harris's statements with ballistics evidence, witness testimony, and crime scene details. Multiple Death Angels were arrested and charged with murder. In 1975, several members were convicted and received life sentences. Anthony Harris testified against his former associates and was sentenced to a reduced term in prison. The Zebra murders officially ended with the arrests and convictions. Authorities concluded that the killings were racially motivated hate crimes, driven by extremist ideology rather than personal disputes or financial gain. The Death Angel killings remain one of the most disturbing crime sprees in San Francisco history. The randomness of the attacks, the racial targeting, and the ideological motivation left a lasting impact on the city.